Hello, everyone. As with you always, this is Rich doing another video today on XRP. So I hope you're all having a wonderful day today, wherever you are in this great world. We're going to talk about XRP. And I got to start with this. Today, Harvard Business School named Brad Garlinghouse their 2026 Business Leader of the Year. Brad on stage with Chris Larson by his side. 250 plus of the world's top investors in the room. This is what a decade of conviction looks like. I always said, first of all, congrats to Brad Garlinghouse. But I always said when a school like Harvard is teaching blockchain in the classroom, teaching XRP and XLM in the classroom, you know you're holding the future. A Harvard degree is not cheap. And if they're going to teach that in a classroom, they want to make sure that when you graduate, at least you're educated to go work in this space. And we've seen this happen over the course of like the last 8 years or so, where Harvard was really pushing two cryptocurrencies, XRP and XLM. Roundhill files XRP covered call strategy ETF with SEC, effective May 24th. Now, a lot of people keep saying this is very bullish for XRP, as all these ETFs keep coming up. But if they're not spot XRP ETFs, they really don't matter to us as XRP investors, because the spot XRP ETFs, those are required to hold the actual asset. That's why the spot XRP ETF filers have to buy XRP. These ETFs, they don't have to buy or hold XRP at all. I just wanted to point that out. President Trump says crypto is a big industry that has become mainstream. Take a listen.
Well, crypto is a big industry. It's actually become somewhat mainstream. The banks have it, people have it, and I think as the leader of the country, we want to lead in AI. And we're leading China by a lot in AI, and we're also leading in crypto. Yeah.
So now most people are like, they don't even want to hear from President Trump in the crypto space. He is right, though. It's becoming mainstream. We're at the early stages of adoption for crypto still. We are still waiting for that Clarity Act. That has to get passed. That's what's going to bring the institutional adoption. Then all of a sudden, we start pushing towards mass adoption, where the people that you talk to about crypto are using crypto and they don't even know that they're using it. That time is most likely 2 years away, depending on when they get the Clarity Act passed. If they get it done this year, things look really good going forward. The Bipartisan PACE Act just dropped, and it's a massive structural shift for U.S. payments. The bill creates a pathway for qualified non-bank fintechs to bypass legacy middlemen and gain direct access to Federal Reserve rails like FedNow, FedWire, ACH. Why this is significant for institutional-grade players like Ripple. They've already built the tech for real-world assets and global liquidity. The PACE Act could provide the regulatory green light to bridge that infrastructure directly into the U.S. financial system, cutting out the legacy bank layer. The industry is moving toward direct integration. Now, here's the issue. I think this is a great act, but I don't see it getting passed anytime soon. We can't even get the Clarity Act passed, and that's been dragging out since last year. So most likely, if this gets passed, it will most likely happen possibly sometime by the end of 2026. But Ripple already has access to FedNow. Ripple already has money transmitter licenses in most of the United States. So those are the rails that XRP is going to run on very soon. XRP to become number 2 biggest crypto. XRP to reach Ethereum levels would need to be around $7 to $8. That's the most realistic price target I'm 100% certain it'll reach. If XRP becomes number 1, $20 to $25 is a realistic target. If XRP is here in 20 to 30 years, I could see $100 plus. $1,000 per XRP is just goofy TikTok brain. Most people on TikTok, they're citing that XRP is going to $1,000, but they're pointing at the 2017-2018 run. They're not telling you how it could get to $1,000. Most people that are citing $1,000 XRP don't even realize that the banks could set the price of XRP. The DTCC could set the price of XRP. They don't even realize that a lot of the Ripple escrow is most likely already spoken for. For the first time ever, we're now talking about scarcity for XRP. I would not say $1,000 per XRP is a goofy price target at all. And I think it'll happen sooner than people think. But a lot has to happen first. And that's the part most people leave out. You know, first we need to get clarity. Then we need to get adoption. We need to get the institutions on board. Tokenization is going to be massive. But again, it doesn't even start at a scale that's going to impact the price until later this year. So we need to see what that looks like first. How fast is it happening? How fast does the first $1 trillion hit the XRP ledger? If you're going to talk about $1,000 XRP, you also got to try to put a time frame on it. Some of these people are saying like next year. I still think it's going to be most likely sometime in 2028. And that's if we see the collapse of the current system or a smooth transition into the new financial system. With the rise of central bank digital currencies and the rise of stablecoins being utilized all around the world. It's not that $1,000 per XRP is goofy. It's just we need to see how long it's going to take to get there. Now, XRP at $100, there's a good chance that could happen inside of 2026. I mean, Jake Claver was claiming it was going to happen in 2025, and I think he was on the right track, but I think his timeline was wrong. Just bought a small bag of XRP, and you see 243 XRP. More than enough. When we transition to the new financial system, just holding 10 XRP will be like a lump sum pension after 50 years of work. Let that sink in. Like I said, most people believe you are going to make over the next 6 months what people are going to make in a lifetime, depending on how much XRP you're holding. I look at it like this. Every 1,000 XRP you're holding, if you're even holding 1,000 XRP, that's where you could look at conservative price points and how much that 1,000 XRP would be worth. If you listen to most of the chart guys, it's between $20 and $27 per XRP. So 1,000 XRP conservative would be 27 grand. More bullish, $50 plus. Now 1,000 XRP is worth $50K. If we hit a 3-digit XRP, of course, you now have $100,000 per 1,000 XRP. But I look at it like this. If you're willing to hold it longer term, it's only going to be worth more money. Owning cryptocurrency is insane. Like, are you some kind of criminal or something? There is zero good legal reasons to own cryptocurrency. 100% of the good reasons are illegal. Like, seriously, illegal. Like hiring hitmen, illegal. Wild to still hold this worldview in 2026. You know what it is? Most of the people that think that way, they're brainwashed by the mainstream media news because every chance they get, they tie crypto to illicit activity. Elizabeth Warren had a whole campaign on illicit activity and crypto. But once you get into this space, you start to realize the US dollar is used for illicit activity way more than crypto is used for illicit activity. But if you invest in the right cryptocurrencies, you're investing in the future. It's not like crypto is going anywhere. It's not like XRP is ever going to zero. Even Bitcoin, with all the problems ahead for Bitcoin, it's not going to zero. Now, I don't believe it's going to be worth anywhere near what it's worth right now because of the future problems with it. The fact that it's outdated tech, it can only handle 7 transactions per second. Quantum computers are coming, and the belief system is slowly dying off already. I think Bitcoin will most likely be a $10,000 to $20,000 cryptocurrency in the future, and people will transact with it. A lot of people are going to get trapped in it, even if the fall of Tether happened right now. Most people are not going to run to the door. Michael Saylor, he's already going to be out the door. Jack Mallers, out the door. And the people that are left in it is most likely going to be a lot of retail investors when the problems actually do start for Bitcoin. But when it comes to XRP, it's a lot different. It has a real world use case. It has utility. It's not backed by Tether printed out of thin air. But to still think that that crypto is only used for illicit activity in 2026, that's absolutely crazy. Ripple built a foundational protocol that the world never knew it needed, the Interledger Protocol. Take a listen to this.
Interledger is a community project. It was started at Ripple, which is why we're involved. The two inventors of the protocol are here today, and they're the guys who wrote the original white paper for Interledger. What Interledger is it's a protocol for connecting different ledgers. So obviously we're interested in connecting blockchain-based ledgers, but it can connect any payment network really. So it works in a very similar way to IP on the internet. Interledger is an interoperability layer on top of all these different ledgers. Right. So it's a community open source project. It's not really it's not a revenue generating project at all. Ripple's involved because we use the protocol within our commercial products, but also obviously, as I said, because we initiated the whole effort. So it operates within the World Wide Web Consortium, the W3C, as a community group. There's about 220 members, and there's not really any incentive for someone to compete with what we're doing. If they are looking to produce some sort of interoperability, it would make much more sense for them to join the group and try to influence the direction we're taking in our design. Protocols don't really have competitors per se. There may be alternative ideas of how to achieve the same thing, and if there's other people working on that, I think our...
So that's why you will see adoption for Interledger Protocol, because it's not even a for-profit protocol at all. He just summed that up. And it's already being used and supports transactions across over 130 countries with more than 271 projects. Now, people are already saying, well, we really don't need Interledger Protocol right now. But you know when you're going to need it? When it comes to micropayments. This comes from Smoke. Take a listen to what Navin Gupta says here.
Tell you, hey, today what FT and Wall Street Journal want to do is they want to give Jay the right to just buy access to one article. So yes, you may say, hey, you know what, online, I don't want to pay a subscription for whatever reason. You're a customer who doesn't want to pay $40, but you do want to read that one article on Bitcoin that you love, that your friends have talked about, and you're ready to pay 10 cents for it. The only problem these newspapers have to access these millions of customers who just want to read one article is, how do we collect that 10 cents from you? right? Because it'll cost them $1 to actually collect the 10 cents. And in some way, for example, public chains like XRP solves that, because almost at zero cost, you could essentially do that micropayment of 10 cents in XRP. They could receive it instantly in real time. They could convert that into US dollar at a transaction level or at bulk, and they're happy. And then you're able to read the article. And suddenly they're able to access millions of customers worldwide who just want to make this micropayment at a $1, $2, $5.
I always liked the way Brad broke it down as well. He always said, what if you could get paid every minute of the day or on every hour of the day? You can't do that now because of the friction inside of payments. It's the same reason why people get paid every 2 weeks or once a month. Some people still get paid weekly. But micropayments are going to be massive in the future. Imagine, instead of buying Disney Plus or some other subscription, you just paid for the movies you wanted to watch per movie or per show instead of paying for the subscription. And that's where micropayments are going to come in really big. But when you have all these people around the world paying, making micropayments, you need to be able to scale all of that at the same time. That's where Interledger Protocol comes in. We're just not quite at that level yet, but that is absolutely coming because they're missing out on a lot of customers for the fact that everything is a subscription. If you could break it down where people pay per usage, you'll see a lot of new customers onboarding year over year. And that's going to be game changing for XRP holders. Remember, XRP only needs to 20x to dethrone Bitcoin. This is documented by Wisdom Tree. Here's what's crazy. These ETF filers, all of a sudden, they're outlining where XRP is going in the future. And most of them are pointing at the fact that XRP is built to dethrone Bitcoin. I think we're closer to that happening than what people think. And I'm telling you, that is going to be the craziest day you've ever seen in crypto when XRP takes the #1 spot away from Bitcoin. It's going to be everywhere. Mainstream media news. You'll see it in the Wall Street Journal. You'll see it in other papers as well. It's going to be all over the internet. It'll probably break the internet when that happens because the belief system in Bitcoin is what's really holding up the price of Bitcoin. The sales pitch of adoption happening, that's just nonsense. 7 transactions per second, that's not going to get you worldwide adoption of Bitcoin. And then it's the digital gold narrative. And now we have tokenized gold coming on chain. So that kind of destroys the whole digital gold narrative for Bitcoin. Then it's the store of value. But yet every time we've seen things happen around the world, Bitcoin comes plummeting down. So you can't even really look at it as a good store of value either. And the tech is just dated. This is going to happen. And I'm telling you now, you want to be an XRP holder the day that happens. There's no gap between XRP price and real demand. So Marcus Infanger is rejecting claims of a gap, saying XRP demand and market price are evolving together. I honestly think he's wrong. I think XRP, it never recovered from the Rippleverse SEC case. I still believe the price should be much higher than where it is right now. But it's not just XRP. It's all of these cryptocurrencies that are going to be part of the new financial system. It's like they're purposely being suppressed until the right time. Q&T, dirt cheap. It should never be sitting where it is today. HBAR should never be sitting where it is right now. Same thing with XDC, XLM, IOTA, Algo. IOTA, that's going to be huge. I could tell you that right now. When smart cities are all the talk and they're popping up around the world, IOTA is going to shine like the biggest diamond you have ever seen. Smart homes. energy, paying for energy in real time from your AC unit to the supplier. That's going to be happening through IOTA. And right now, these cryptocurrencies, it's like they're at such dirt cheap prices. So when he says there's no gap between the demand and the price, he's totally wrong, in my opinion. XRP should already be sitting between $10 and $13 right now. But don't worry, eventually XRP will show its real price. And until it happens, stay patient, stay positive, and let's get rich together. With that said, I'm going to wrap up this video. I want to thank you all for watching. I appreciate all of you. I'll see you in the next one. Have a great night.